Hi Taurus, and welcome to your horoscope for December 2024. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. My horoscopes are based on the UK time zone, and please watch them in this order. Rising sign first, then sun sign, and finally moon sign. So I'm going to break the month of December down into 4 weeks. And as always, I'm going to pay attention to the moon, which one of your houses it moves through, and when, so you know that where you're supported in what areas of life and when. Week 1, Sunday the 1st until Sunday the 8th of December. For the first 2 days, we have the moon in Sagittarius, and for you, that is in your 8th house of institutions and authorities. So if anything needs completing there, any interactions, paperwork, you'll find that quite easy to deal with at the beginning of the month, particularly on the 1st of December when we have a new moon in Sagittarius. So the moon goes pitch black, it pulls a lot of energy in for its next 28-day cycle. And in this case, it's pulling in this Sagittarius energy, which fires you up to get anything official done, but also it's very helpful when it comes to things like submitting manuscripts or filling out applications or doing job interviews and presenting yourself. On the 3rd and 4th, the moon then goes into Capricorn and it joins Venus in Capricorn up in your 9th house of the higher realms and education and travel. So I think for you, because Capricorn is an earth sign and it's often very literal, I think if you have any kind of opportunity to travel on the 3rd and 4th, that would really pay off and it would serve as a creative inspiration for you. It would be a real pick-me-up. It would give you a lot of energy, that experience. On the 5th and 6th and 7th, then, the moon goes into Aquarius and it goes into your 10th house of career and it joins Pluto in Aquarius, which is also in your 10th house. So these 3 days, you may notice that you figure something out in your existing work, or if you're a student, you find it very easy to kind of absorb information, or if you're retired, you find that there's an area of interest that you have that you're now getting lots of ideas about that you could work on differently. And these 3 days is really for you the rebirth of ideas, but really ideas that are related to your work, your income, and your career. On the 6th of December, Mars, the planet of ambition and drive, that goes retrograde until the 23rd of February next year. And for you, Taurus, it sits in your 4th house of family. So when Mars goes retrograde, often there's less drive and it's harder to get motivated. But this Mars is in Leo, so it's very fired up. And I think, let me know what you think in the comments, but I think for you it's a good thing because in your 4th house, it means there's less friction and things aren't as contentious in your most important relationships in life with other people. So I think for you, Taurus, is actually a bit of a soothing balm, this retrograde. That means if there has been any conflict in your personal life, that cools off now. On the 7th of December, we have Venus, the female principle, and the planet of love and beauty and creativity, that ingresses into Aquarius. And it also goes into your 10th house and it joins Pluto in Aquarius in your 10th house. So all of these wonderful ideas about your work or what you could do. If you're a Taurus who's not got a particular direction in work, these couple of days in the first week here, and the 7th of December specifically, it's very, it's almost like you're seeing your career as like a narrative and how you can write that narrative and what you now want to experience in it rather than just what am I getting paid or what are my duties. You become very open-minded to other options. And you as a Taurus, I usually would imagine that you're often very grounded and practical. So you would specifically then see how you can put those things into reality. And also your ruler is Venus. So that going into Aquarius is really going to open up your mind to new possibilities so that you can work in ways which benefit everyone, but you as well. On the 7th as well, Neptune goes direct until the 4th of July next year. The outer planets stay in retrograde for about 6 months, so it's not as important as with the personal planets. But Neptune goes direct in your 11th house of hopes and dreams. So with Neptune being about premonitions and the intuition and, dreams and kind of what happens inside of you and the visions of what could be, I think again you find that your working life or the hopes you have for the future of that, you're starting to get ideas that you may not have had in the past, or you may find that there are opportunities available to you now that hadn't been before. On the 8th of December, the moon reaches its second quarter, so it's waxing towards becoming a full moon on the 15th of December, and it sits again next to Neptune and Saturn in your 11th house of hopes and dreams. I really think this is related to Venus and Pluto and Aquarius sitting at the very top of your chart. And I think the 8th of December is the day where you really get the idea, like it becomes real and specific and detailed so that you can action it moving forward. So I think if you're already working, I think you get an idea of what else you could do. Or if you're employed, you get an idea for self-employment. Or if you're retired, you get an idea for working on some project that you're interested in. It's really something new is kind of given to you through your intuition. So if you meditate or you're creative, reserve that for the 8th of December. Something really useful is going to come in as a result of that. Yeah. So in the first week, the moon covers, it pretty much hovers at the very top of your chart from the 8th house to the 11th house. And I think the first week here is about you considering new ways of operating as far as your working life is concerned, or again, what you're working towards. So you're very productive, but also at the same time, you're considering all these other options and your mind is wide open to all the possibilities of what could be. So it's kind of an exciting start to the month for you, Taurus. Week 2, Monday to Sunday, the 9th to the 15th of December. On the 9th, we still have the moon in Pisces. So again, pay attention to what comes through. On the 10th and 11th, the moon goes into Aries and it joins Chiron, which is sitting in Aries, in your 12th house of spirituality and spiritual strength. So these 2 days are about healing something from the past that's causing you pain by connecting on a spiritual level, or connecting with another person you love, or simply connecting in a meaningful way. You have the opportunity to let go of some sort of hurt or pain or resentment or wound is able to heal over these 2 days. On the 12th and 13th, the moon goes into your sign of Taurus and it joins Uranus in Taurus, and they both sit in your first house of self. So this is now you regenerated, spiritually charged up, and you're able to take action in any area of your life: business, relationships, education, travel, spirituality, friendships, family, money, communication, anything that's meaningful to you. These 2 days are where you can get doors to open. So it's great for interviews. It's great, again, for proposals, to submit things that you've come up with. But on a much simpler level, I just think you're going to be super energized physically and you're going to feel very well. On the 14th and 15th, the moon goes into Gemini, and that goes into your second house of money, and it joins Jupiter, the lucky planet, which is also in Gemini in your second house. So this is great for money ideas and solving money issues and overcoming them, finding solutions, talking to authorities that you may be connected with, the employer. I think any communication around finances and money, if you can reserve them for the 14th and 15th, particularly the 15th, because that's when Mercury, the communication planet, goes direct, try and schedule them in for them because you'll get the best result. So on the 15th of December, we've got this full moon in Gemini, and that happens in your second house of money. So expect some good news about your finances, about your job. And like I mentioned a moment ago, on the 15th as well, Mercury, the communication planet, does go direct. And again, it's in your 8th house. So if you've had difficulties, Mercury's been in retrograde since the 25th of November. So here, when it goes direct on the 15th of December, it's an easier time now to fill in the forms and to do all the official stuff, taxes, legal things. So if you could leave them till Mercury does go direct, there are going to be fewer communication issues and there's less room for misunderstanding and errors to be made. Okay, so in this second week, the moon goes from your 11th house to your second. Okay, so it's really the very left-hand side of your chart. And I think this second week is about you starting it slow and really being energized and healed through a spiritual practice. And then the latter part of the week is about hitting the ground running, implementing your ideas about your job, your finances, your income, and really having discussions about that, and very successful discussions about that. Week 3, Monday to Sunday, the 16th to 22nd of December. On the 16th and 17th, we've got the moon in Cancer, and that's in your third house of communication. And it's sitting next to Hades in Cancer. So I think there may be something that you hear that you don't particularly like. You may find that some sort of support that you felt from another person or from a circumstance in your life is not giving you the comfort that you want, and it may frustrate you, and it may make you act up a little bit. So the 16th and 17th for you, I would say, are somewhat tricky because you may be in your emotions and you're prone to feeling a little hard done by or isolated. So on those 2 days, make sure that you're around people or connecting to the higher realms through a spiritual practice, or you're working creatively, so that there's some way of getting out of yourself, right? Or doing charity work or being of service somehow. Because I think if you're going to have a bad moment in terms of how you feel, I think it will be around the 16th, 17th. On the 18th, 19th, and 20th, the moon then goes into your fourth house, and it's in Leo over these 3 days, and it sits next to Mars in retrograde, also in Leo in your fourth house. So for you, I think this is the best time of the month for family relationships, for your most important relationships, and to connect with the people you really love and care about. The moon then goes into Virgo on the 21st, and it stays there until the 22nd. So those 2 days, the moon is in your fifth house, which is about love and romance and relationships. And Virgo is an earth sign ruled by Mercury, and it can often be said to be the nurse, the person who has some sort of expertise and uses it in order to heal a situation, right? So the 21st and 22nd are great for you as far as romantic relationships are concerned. And it mitigates Mars retrograde, where there may be less heat. With this being in your fifth house, you may take a very kind of sober approach to this. And if you meet someone new on the 21st or 22nd, that Virgo skepticism is going to ensure that you don't miss any red flags, and that it's safe for you to evaluate who someone is in your life, especially if it's a new person. Also on the 21st, we've got the sun going into Capricorn, and that goes into your ninth house, again, of travel and the higher realms and broadening your horizons. But the sun in Capricorn, again, is in an earth sign. Pallas is next to us, wisdom, also in Capricorn. So I think this whole season of the sun then being in Capricorn is going to be very good for you as far as it goes, as far as travel is concerned. But I would also say that anytime after the 15th of December, when Mercury goes direct, is a good time for you to travel. So if you do have any time off towards the end of the month where you can yeah, visit different locations. I think you'll get a great deal out of that. I think it's really going to motivate you. And then on the 21st, we've got the winter solstice if you're in the northern hemisphere, the summer solstice if you're in the southern hemisphere, and it's a change of season. And for you, it's really about now exploring and being practical, having your finances in order, and saying, how can I do something for me? So I think this third week is very good for you to take care of yourself. You started quite something, like I said, when the moon is in Cancer on the 16th and the 17th, you may struggle a little bit with that. But the rest of the week, the discipline you have emotionally with yourself, you then apply to your life, and it really pays off because your plans for the future and your existing circumstances will be very, very organized by the end of the third week. You'll really be on top of that and will take pride in being on top of that. So the moon goes from your third house to your fifth house in this third week, and that's the very bottom of the chart. So what grounds you? What roots you? What's the thing that actually is most supportive in your life? And if you struggle with that on the 16th and 17th, try and meditate if you've never meditated before, or try prayer, or listening to music, or something that makes you feel connected to something ethereal and bigger. And I think that's going to yield great results and give you the power to, not the power, but it'll allow you to recognize your own spirituality as a source of strength, and that it is a foundation in your life that you can rely on. So week 3 is like your spiritual awakening week, I would say. Week 4, Monday to Tuesday, the 23rd of December until the 31st of December. On the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, the moon is in Libra, and it's in your 6th house of daily routine and structure and your physical health and your body and all the things, again, that exist in a tangible way in your life. And these 3 days, the moon being in Libra is a really good thing, because Libra is about connection, and it's about being balanced, and it's about having compassion and empathy. It's ruled by Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity and giving life to things. So the moon in Libra, I feel, is very generous. And in this 6th house, I don't think you're going to get very stressed over the Christmas period. A lot of people have to do a bunch of cooking and, decorating, and the families are coming over and stuff. You as a Taurus are going to stay cool as a cucumber here, and nothing will shake you on the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. So if you're the hostess or the person organizing the events, you won't have to deal with, you can handle the stress better than usual. On the 26th and the 27th, the moon goes into Scorpio, and that's in your 7th house of relationships, and that's relationships on any level: acquaintances, colleagues, friends, partners. But with it being in Scorpio and opposing Uranus in your 1st house of self, in your sign of Taurus, I think these are 2 great days to fall in love and to start a new connection with someone who's going to be an important part of your future. On the 28th and 29th, we've got the moon going into Sagittarius, and it joins Mercury in Sagittarius in your 8th house. So again, this is a period where you have absolutely no difficulty getting things organized as far as admin is concerned, working with the tax people, submitting things, all of that connection with institutions, groups of people, companies, corporations, that kind of stuff. On the 29th of December, we have Chiron, the wounded healer. That goes direct until the 30th of July, 2025. And it's in your 12th house of spirituality and strength. And it's next to your transiting ascendant at 11 degrees in Aries. So I really feel that by this time of the month, you've had all of these insights about yourself, and now it's about taking action. And I think the end of the year, you'll be really psyched up and motivated and pumped to get going with a project that you've come up with. and that these 2 days in particular, the 28th and the 29th, are where you can make great progress in your relationships with groups and organizations, but you can also make personal progress in the sense of I know exactly where I'm going in life and I know what I'm going to do in 2025. On the 30th and 31st, the moon goes into Capricorn and it goes back into your 9th house. And on the 30th, we have a new moon in Capricorn. So again, the moon goes dark, pulls energy in, but it's a second new moon of the month. So it's a black moon. So it has added significance. And with it all being in Capricorn, Palace and the transiting midheaven being there in your 9th house, I think that the end of the year for you is going to be a time where you consider your work, or you consider what you're working on, or the direction you're going in life. And I think that you have access to great wisdom and you'll make decisions which are going to benefit you financially in the next year. So if you're thinking about making a change to your work, or studying something new, or acquiring new skills, think about that at the end of the year. You'll get real certainty, especially on the 30th of December when we have the black moon. And that can really then see you moving in a very different direction in 2025 than what you've done so far. So that's massive change as far as your securities and your income is concerned. Okay, so in the last week here, the moon goes from your 6th house to your 9th house. So again, we're now hopping over the descendant. We're in the top half of your chart. So again, getting that kind of admin work done, and then considering what is it that I want to do in future that makes me happy, something that I actually think is worthwhile and that I enjoy. And it's not just about paying the bills and gathering security. I want to do something that is meaningful to me. So if you're a Taurus, again, who's been uncertain about your life purpose as it relates to career, the end of December particularly is going to be very helpful to you. So that's what I get for you here in December. I hope you have a fabulous month. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via the website, gregoryscott.com. To draw up your birth chart, I need your place of birth, date of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, there's a process called chart rectification where I can actually work it out. So if you'd like me to have a look at your chart, what it says about your vocational aptitudes or love or spiritual development, friendships, relationships, anything at all, please do get in touch for a personal reading. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, please, so it shows up in searches. Subscribe for more videos. Become a member of the channel to watch the daily tarot reading. And please also share this video with anyone who you may think would enjoy it, because that's how the channel grows. So I appreciate your help with that. I hope you have a wonderful December, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best.